Hello guys and welcome to my channel. Before going to the topic, I just want to tell you an essential thing. Learning any language through English is the easiest and more possible way because everything that you can imagine is in English and all the resources are in English. And this video is for those who are looking for a way to learn another language as well as English. If you are one of those guys, you are definitely in the right place. The first step for learning a language is motivation. Having a motivation for starting a business, for playing an instrument, or even learning a new language is one of the essential and must-have things that a person should and have to have. Some people learn that language because they want to travel to that country. Some people want for a business, someone for enjoying and for becoming a polyglot. They just love learning. Some people learn a language because of getting accustomed with a different culture, discovering the different types of lifestyle. Everyone's motivations are different. But if you find that motivation, then learning the things won't be so frustrating because you have something like a backup. It means you have someone beside you that every day gives you a pill, a magical pill, and keeps you motivated. But at the beginning of your language acquisition, you will confront with some difficulties. Sometimes you won't be in the mood of studying. Sometimes you don't have the time to study. But what I learned from my life is we are always a good starter, but we never finish what we have started. This is my experience. I did a lot, and every day I'm trying to save my distance from this bad habit that we can call it procrastination. So don't lose your motivation. When you are not in the mood of studying, don't study. Just leave it. You have to enjoy from the learning process. This is not something that you should force yourself to do that. No, you shouldn't put the pressure on yourself because it's a long-term process. Enjoy the way. Motivation also contains having a specific goal. Where you are right now, in your language abilities, and where you want to be. And this requires a time dedication. If you don't, you won't reach to there. If you procrastinate, you're just wasting your time. Define your goals, devote some time, and enjoy from the process. Now, which resources we have to use? And that's our next step, YouTube. Look, I have a bad experience from language classes. They just show you the way, they don't take you to the destination. Honestly, I learned what I have in English is by YouTube. I learned everything about English on YouTube. This platform is really amazing. Whatever you need, it's there. Not just language, but everything. I tell you an example, just as a polyglot about his language journey. Until how did you learn all of these languages? You will definitely hear YouTube. Okay, for academic learning, you should hire a tutor. You should pay some money for them. But it refers to our motivation. That was our previous step. If your motivation is studying abroad, then you should pay for that and hire a teacher. It depends on your motivation. But YouTube is the best teacher I've ever seen, regardless of the teachers I had in my region. And I'm grateful for them, but my recommendation is using YouTube as a fundamental source. YouTube videos contains watching movies, podcasts, and everything that relates to sight and hearing sense. Contains YouTube videos. Next one, listening. On YouTube, you can enhance your listening skills as well. But beside all of these things, native speakers never speak as they write, but they use from the reductions in their speeches and conversations. For example, the word and pronounced with a very small syllable. For example, I love drinking and walking. I love drinking and walking. And reduced to in. We never open our mouth to say and. This is wrong. I love drinking and walking. I love drinking and walking. This was a short statement about listening. For more details, find the link of this video in the description box. Next one, reading. People are often forget to read their target language. By forget, I mean they have no tend to read because they think that speaking is more important than reading. Of course it is, but in a different shape. First, you need to devote your time for 4 different skills: reading, writing, listening, and then speaking. Everything you learn, you should put them in action and start speaking. But before speaking, you should feed your brain with data and information about a language. With empty mind, you can't express your ideas. You can't talk with somebody else. Your brain needs information, and with reading, you can prepare information for that. This is why reading plays a big role in language acquisition. Read whatever you have beside you. It's a book, read it in English. It's a newspaper, a topic, whatever. Prefer the English one or whatever your target language is. Next one, vocabulary. The steps I mentioned today is summarized in this part. Whatever you do, maybe you watch a video on YouTube, you listen to a podcast or radio, you read a book, you do these things in English. But you need to develop your vocabulary. And every day, by doing these things, your vocabulary will improve. Learn 5 or 10 words every single day. Don't punish yourself. By punish, I mean don't study hundreds of words a day. You can't memorize it efficiently, and for a long period of time, your brain needs rest and time to process that data. When you memorize the words, try to make few examples for each one of them, and try to understand how to use it in present tense, in past tense, and in the future tense. And try to understand the exact way of its pronunciations. There are many vocabulary and game apps that makes language learning easy and fun. They offer interactive ways of practicing new words and enabling vocabulary acquisition. Next one, immersion. Immerse yourself in a language. Immersion involves surrounding yourself with a language that you want to learn. You can do this by listening to the music, watching YouTube videos, reading a book, and having a conversation with native and non-native English speakers. Learning a language is a long-term process. It has a starting point, but there is no ending point. Don't expect too much achievement in your learning process in a short period of time. You may feel you can't speak in the language. You can't use the right word in their right places, or your mind goes blank while speaking. Take some time and immerse yourself in the language. Stephen Krashen, the author of Principle and Practice in a Second Language, believes that in order to learn a second or third or whatever language is, immersion. Immersion means to fully adapt yourself in that language. It means to learn like a child. They are adapted in the language, in their native language, and they never care about grammar rules. This is why I'm against grammar rules for beginners, and I tell this in most of my videos. Immersion contains interacting with people, reading, listening, or even living in an English-spoken country, or whatever your target language is. But don't make this excuse that I can't go to that country. There's a lot of ways instead of traveling to a country. One of those are HelloTalk app, MiniChat, and Omegle TV. You can find a partner in any language that you want to learn, and you just speak completely for free. But HelloTalk is not. You should pay some money, and I suggest you these two instead of that because it's free. Immerse yourself in a language, even if it's just for 15 minutes a day. It's a lot of time by the end of the year. Every day, 15 minutes dramatically changes you. 15 minutes is just for those who are not in the mood of learning. If you have the motivation, your own motivation, you dedicate more time for your language skills. It's listening, watching a YouTube video, reading a book. Just practice and immerse yourself. Next one, language exchange. Language exchange is a situation where two people teach each other their native language. It's a great and fun way to learn a language while making friends and learning about another culture. You could find a language exchange partner online, or you can attend to a language exchange groups on Discord, on Facebook, or WhatsApp. And the last one, practice consistently. Consistency is crucial when learning a new language. But it doesn't mean you have to spend 10 hours of your time on your language acquisition. It would be best if you plan a regular language study sessions, even if it's just for a few minutes every day. Consistent practice helps you build your language skills gradually, which is essential for making progress, not just in language acquisition, but in every aspect of life. Set aside a specific time for learning every day and stick to that schedule as much as possible. Make the language learning part of your daily routine and it will become a habit. Every day, watch part of a movie or listen to a part of a song or a radio or a podcast, whatever, and read some pages of a book. Write a post on your Instagram account in English. Just for the sake of practicing, do these things. This was for today's video. I hope you enjoyed and you learned something. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for my next video notification. And please motivate me with your likes and sharing my videos with your friends. Wish you the best.